obviously a no fucking brainer. I mean, god damn. I mean, shit! It was too easy to look at, okay? So that right there, we got it out the fucking window, okay? And let's see, what was the other matchup? AJ Lee defending her her Divas Championship against, let's see, you had Brie Bella, who came out in a rainbow bright outfit. Very sexy, I'm going to add to that. Natalya comes out, and Naomi. And I got to admit, I agree with JBL when he said that, let's see, that Naomi is the best pure athlete in the Divas division, which I'm actually gonna agree upon that. I see something in her that really needs to be shown in the Divas division a whole lot more. That's my opinion anyway. And they defend the title against AJ Lee. And what a big surprise. I mean, is it just me, or was I the only person that saw that AJ Lee was going to win the championship? I mean, come on. I mean, obviously nobody really cares, but at the same time, AJ Lee has gotten the attention of the Divas division, gotten the attention of the total Divas attention. Now, my opinion is going to be the same no matter what. Here's how it goes as far as I feel about the Divas division, okay? I agree with the things that AJ Lee has been talking about, okay? Let's look at the whole thing with the Divas division. For example, AJ Lee has spoke her mind and told the truth whether anybody likes it or not. To me, the only thing that's good about women's wrestling right now is the knockouts. They're doing a whole lot better than the WWE Divas. But AJ Lee has picked it up a notch a little bit. So yes, she did win her match at Night of Champions, and I'm glad she did. I knew she would win it. But the whole thing is, with all due respect to the Total Divas show, on E, it's a great, great show, but my God, we need to get rid of this crap and get them to focus on the Divas Championship, as far as I'm concerned, okay? AJ Lee is a great champion. Main Event's not going to deny that, okay? She's not in the league of Alita or Trish Stratus or Victoria or Molly Holly or any of those great champions. I'm not saying she sucks, but I'm saying that she is almost up there. There's got to be more to it than that, but nonetheless, AJ Lee wins, is still champion. There's nothing anybody can do about it. Now, I want to also argue about this one little point, okay? Now, before I get on to the next matchup, these polls that have been showing up, the greatest Divas or Women's Champion, Trish Stratus, I agree upon that one, okay? That was easy to figure out. The Intercontinental Champion, who is the greatest Intercontinental Champion? There was a list of it. I know that Mr. Perfect was on it. And personally to me, with all due respect, I know Chris Jericho was the one that won it, simply because he was a 9-time Intercontinental Champion, and mark it 9 times, not 8 times, because Michael Cole right away had already messed up, and then he went ahead and came on WWE United Champions and made the mistake and recreated it or redone it or something like that, and said that he was a 9-time champion. That's how it goes. Okay, let me argue with this one other point. Okay, the greatest world heavyweight champion of all time. Okay, easy. It's the easiest. You look at the list of champions. Booker T's in there. Ric Flair's in there. I think there was, I forgot the other people that were on there. To me, arguably, the greatest world heavyweight champion of all time is Ric Flair. As far as I'm concerned, he owns that world title, okay? He owns the belt. That belt belongs to the Nature Boy. He has the right to be called the greatest world champion of all time. Not Bret Hart, not Hogan, not Sting, not Lex Luger, not any of them. Ric Flair is and always will be the 16-time world champion. He is the greatest of all time. But you decided to go ahead and go with Booker T of all people. Don't get me wrong. Booker T is a 5-time WCW champion. Actually, if we correct that, he is actually a 6-time world champion. But nonetheless, he's still the 5-time WCW champion. But to make that mistake, don't get me wrong, Booker T is who he is. He is a Hall of Famer. He is one of the greatest athletes. He's from Houston, Texas. But to put him next to Ric Flair is like putting Hulk Hogan and The Rock and Austin combined next to guys like the Brooklyn Brawler and 3MB. Are you out of your fucking mind? For crying out loud. And this is how my argument continues, folks, because this is what's been missing from my main event talks, and now I get it out of the way. Now, the United States Championship, who was the greatest on that? Sting, no argument there. Let's see, greatest, who else was on the list? The greatest tag team I'm going to argue with this one. The greatest tag team of all time. You had the Wild Samoans, you had DX, you had the Legion of Doom, the British Bulldogs, the Hart Foundation. Okay, now, and the poll was DX. DX was considered the greatest tag team of all time. Okay, how do I put this delicately? How do I say this? How do I put it in words that everyone can understand? Okay, I know how. Here's how it's gonna work. Are you out of your fucking mind? Are you seriously on crack? Did you smell the weed when you got here, okay? Did you take that weed, put the crack together, roll it up in a fucking pipe, smoke it, and say, you know what? Hey, man, we're going to go for DX. Fuck it. It doesn't matter. We'll do it. They are the greatest tag team of all time. No, they're not. They are the greatest faction in the history of the WWE. The greatest faction of all time. Better than the NWO. We can all agree upon that. But the greatest tag team? Are you seriously high? Are you seriously on crack? Here's the thing. In my opinion, and in everybody else's opinion, whether you argue with me about this or not, the greatest tag team, you could put the Hart Foundation in front. You could put the British Bulldogs in front. But to me, of all time, of every team in the world, you gotta put the Legion of Doom in the front. Oh yeah, the Legion of Doom, the Road Warriors, Hawk and Animal. They are considered the greatest tag team of all time. But to me, and I've argued with a few people about this before, if there was one tag team that could be considered the greatest tag team, period, it's the Dudley Boys, Team 3D. That team. Why? The multi-time titles. They've held every title from ECW, WWE title, WCW, TNA, everything. Greatest tag team, period. But if anybody's going to put anybody as the greatest tag team, DX, are you out of your fucking mind? Legion of Doom, that makes a whole lot of fucking sense. That's the way it goes. Now, let's see, what else can I talk about? Let's see, we talked about the U.S. Championship with Sting, World Title, Tag Team titles, Intercontinental. Yeah, I guess that's everything right there. Let's continue on with the Night of Champions.